Hello, this is Hayden from FowlsOnFantasy.com, and today I'm going to be showing you, well, a sort of a time lapse of this work that I did yesterday. I say sort of a time lapse because for the first time I decided to migrate to the OBS studios, and I completely forgot that my monitor, my canvas, was 4K, and I was only recording Full HD, which is what I usually do. So I only recorded half the screen, but I'll try and walk you through it as best I can. So I started with a very basic sketch that actually started off as more of a salamander, like a dragon salamander, and I don't know, it just ended up like a kind of like a dog dragon now. But I thought it was an interesting way how you have one idea and you see something and you shift your perspective. Like, as you could have seen maybe just a little bit, the legs are much more stout and reptilian-like. But then I added these ears to it and I thought it looked so much like a sleeping dog, and then I had to go with it. I thought it was a really cute idea, so I erased the arms and made it so that it was lying on its arms very peacefully, and I thought it turned out really well. It still has a somewhat dragon-like look. Those whiskers on its nose were actually meant to be sort of flangelical tails almost, like you see with those really old dragons, especially in Chinese mythology. The next stage of my drawing was just cleaning up my sketchy lines, so I decided to go for a more ink look, and I thought it turned out pretty okay. There was a lot of cleaning up to do afterwards, but I like the cartoonish look that it gives. I also experimented with drawing fur detail without actually drawing anything, so as you could have seen there for maybe a brief moment, I just did, a couple of lines to kind of signify that its fur was being pushed up as it was leaning on its arm, and I thought that was a really nice effect. I haven't actually tried that before, and I thought it worked well. Like, just the simplicity of it, it lent itself to the style that I was going for. Now, originally I was going to have a human to signify how big this creature was going to be. So you might have seen it at the beginning, how it was that thing in front of its face. But then I decided to get rid of the human, and I thought it'd be a really interesting and cute idea to kind of make it that it was sleeping on a bed of trees to signify how massive this thing is. It's almost, like I kind of see it as like a draconic Clifford the Big Red Dog. Here's my final picture that I eventually got to with all my shading and colouring done. But it was actually a lot of trial and error to get to that point, because I actually had no idea how I was going to colour the trees in this style that I have picked for myself, because I don't usually draw in this style. So as you saw there, I played around with using a particle brush to try and fill in triangles, but it just looked really terrible, at least to me. So I decided to just fill it in, block it out, and then work on it later. So I did that, and then I started working on the dog. And I thought it'd be really nice to contrast the green background with the more reddish, earthy tone. And then I gave it stripes, because why not? I thought it would break up the body a bit. And this is where I worked out what sort of style I was going to take for the background. I was just going to use very simple flicking technique to kind of give it that vegetative texture. And I was very happy with how it turned out. So yeah, after this I sort of just shaded it, cleaned it up. Then I applied a bit of a blur on the shaded layer just so that I was able to, I don't know, I thought it was a bit too harsh at first. And then I added a few birds over top to kind of give it a bit more sense of scale. But here we have it. That was the finished product. I'm so sorry about not being able to record it properly. I hope that it hasn't detracted too much from this time lapse, because I really enjoyed drawing this piece and I really wanted to share my thought processes with you. through my time lapse. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you've liked my artwork, please give it a like. And tell me what you think of it. Would you want one of these as a pet? I mean, that is a lot of food you're going to have to buy if you do. This is Hayden Falzon from Falzon Fantasy, signing off.